Nathanaël, Lyxor has always been very innovative and creating new concepts, and you were one of the first actually to create managed accounts platforms. What I think was very interesting in your presentation this morning is that you wanted really to challenge the industry. You think that we are in an inflection point. And you mentioned the concepts with acronyms of 5 letters. SELeCT.
Right.
S-E-L, small e, C-T.
Correct.
Can you describe, what it is briefly? And I think that I would like really to challenge you on the concept of transparency, especially.
Okay.
But tell us a bit more about SELeCT.
Let me give you the background. The background is all about bringing the alternative industry into the next stage of basically matching the need of the institutional investors to increase the allocation to hedge funds.
Okay.
At a time when hedge fund managers have delivered, on average, low performance, higher volatility, which in the end ended up with assets plateauing.
Okay.
Pre-crisis, we were at $2 trillion of assets. In the middle of the crisis, we were down $1 trillion. Now we're back to $2 trillion, but since then it's plateauing.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is to think of ideas to unlock the value. You could argue it's catalysts to bring the industry to the next level. So we try to be innovative. And we came up with this concept of SELeCT, which stands for socially responsible investment, economics, liquidity, customization, and transparency. We hope by working on those items, we hope that we can help the industry move to new standards and hopefully help it grow beyond 2 trillion and why not 3 trillion, 4 trillion and more.
Okay. So can you explain a bit more transparency? Because I think that there you've got new ideas and you want to challenge what transparency means really.
Correct. Well, the traditional standard of transparency in the industry is, and I hope you agree with that, is very much monthly, right? As an investor, so say you're an investor in hedge funds, you have 30 line in your portfolio. So usually what you get is on a monthly basis, you have a letter you receive from the manager that gives you the performance, as well as a commentary of the performance, and usually an idea of the risk exposure, leverage, sensitivity to various factors. Well, if you have 30 investment of those, guess what? You get 30 different letters. They're not homogeneous. They all look different. Most often, the metrics are calculated differently.
Okay.
That's one. Second, when you have this on a monthly basis, usually it comes with several weeks lag. Right? You don't.
So you don't have a good vision on what's really in the portfolio now.
You have a latency. End of month, the manager will tell you, okay, I'm 30% net long and I'm 3 times levered. But you get that information 3 to 4 weeks later after month's end.
Okay.
So this is already outdated data.
So you think they should be much shorter?
Well, so the challenge is that with that information, the only thing we can do is reporting to your client or to your own or to your board. Nothing else you can do with it. Now, how can you utilize the transparency to, one, better risk manage your portfolio, and second, to improve your performance of your portfolio? The only way you can do that is by having access to, at worst, weekly transparency, at best, daily transparency. And obviously with a much shorter latency, like a few days, right? The only way you can achieve that, really, we believe, is to do managed accounts with managers.
Okay.
Because then it not only provides you with no real time because it's impossible, but a very short latency after the close of business day, but in an homogeneous way. So then you can not only understand your risk pretty much real time, not only at each hedge fund level, but also at the portfolio level. And then I can tell you can really use that information to understand your risk manage your book by ideally utilize liquidity.
Yeah, liquidity.
And ultimately, hopefully, utilize the transparency and that liquidity, which is the L of SELeCT, to capture new investment opportunities.
Right. Well, there's definitely more to say about it, but I think that one can understand that we really have to move to new standards. Investors are looking for additional transparencies that could bring as well to more liquidity. So thanks again for sharing that interesting insight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.